Hello everyone, Untitled, welcome to another fabric mod overview, this time on KronHUD, a mod that simply adds in a bunch of additional HUD elements. And these elements are pretty much keystrokes, item updates, crosshairs, ping, FPS, CPS, potions, and arrows. And it is customizable in many ways. It seems to be there is a menu there, but I haven't come across that yet, so we'll have to take a look at a Keybind. So this is what it'll look like probably by default. A few things are a bit messed up, at least for my experience. Maybe it won't be the same as this for you, might just be my actual GUI scale actually, which we'll see. Maybe not. I'll have to take a look. We'll just go to 2 for example, and still kind of similar, so yeah. That was just my resolution, just can't wait out, which is possible. Anyways, we'll go to back there, and we can go to here. So Y key by default as the binding for the menu. So we can pretty much move everything around just by selecting it and moving it along, which will just move a few out of the way, because we're not. Make it easier, just so we can see what's what. Let's see. Let's place this here. We'll have everything on each sort of, in each sort of position just in case. Now you can actually access these via a file if you want, if you don't want to use it via a menu. But obviously it's probably best to use a menu because it's a lot more clear what's going on. But yeah, if you were to access this via that, and there's buttons. Okay, so that's moved accordingly. Yeah. So just go to this quick just in case. So you want to go to resource packs, go out to .minecraft, go to config, and then go to, where is it, the folder here, then config.json, and you'll find it. So that's how you can access these, but you can pretty much, as far as I can tell across many of these, change the position, change the width, the length, the scale, enabling the actual feature or not, changing the color, the alpha, and that's about it. I think across many of these, yeah, it's just obviously there's different settings for each one, but we'll go across, cover what each one can do, obviously. So we'll go back to Y as well. That's also not correct. So that's all good. But anyways, we'll go to configuration, and obviously I'll get to each of these at the end. They do. So we've got our FPS HUD. So we can configure that by the color of the text as well as the background if we want. So if we just do this and this. I guess. Interesting. Okay, so we just go back. Okay, now it's going to update it. Okay, so it wasn't very clear before if it was going to. Hang on a second. Can I? Yeah, this menu is not formatted correctly, so I'm going to have to go back, I think. We'll do this just for now, for the sake of the video. Configuration. Interesting. Okay, so 1 or 2 is probably the best, but 3 just really doesn't cut it. So go to 2, just make it a bit bigger so we can actually see it correctly, because 3 is too much, but 1 is quite small. So here we go. So we've got Armour HUD, chords, and everything else. So these are mostly just color options, I think, or enabling and disabling, and that's it. So that's what we saw before. Scale enabled. So we can already tell what states those are in. That's fine. Oop, hang on. There's a second lot of things here. So we can scroll as well if there's additional options. So we go here and we go to coordinates. There is additional ones. There's first text and second text along with decimals. But if you want that for coordinates here, so if we wanted to count how many decimals there are, along with changing the colors of that specific element there, we'll just do that with this. We can. And then the alpha, if we want it to be stronger or not. So you can kind of see, not the best color choices I've picked, I know, but either way. So we've got 3 additional there, got the background, got the text change, and so on. Obviously you can customize that for either of these, you can move these around of course, and I'm pretty sure that's it for just settings, besides CPS based off key bindings instead. absolutely. Either way. So you've got coordinates on the left, obviously. You've got arrows and how much ammunition you have. Just go with this here. You can see the amount accumulating over time. You've got FPS, which obviously we're a bit below 60, kind of maintaining what we can here. You've got your ping, which obviously is mostly more useful for servers. I'm not on one, I'm only a single player, so we can't really tell what that's going to be. We've got clicks per second, so we can see how many we're doing at once. Alright, the middle mouse button counts now. And the button there. Yep, so, and then we've obviously got the keystrokes as well, so it'll tell us exactly which ones we're using. There is no control one, it seems, so if you was, or even, there's no sprinting or with, obviously if I'm going off control by default, or sneaking one either, so only your main controls of attacking, placing, or using, jumping, and typical 4 direction movement. Besides obviously holding multiple for diagonal and such. Otherwise we've got what's in our actual hand as well as armor. Just get each of these real quick and we'll put our shield in our offhand slot as well. And I don't know if it'll count others, like a bow. No, okay, so it's not. It's only just going to count armor and then the thing that's in your hand, possibly. Yeah, so there's nothing in hand. It doesn't count offhand, surprisingly enough, which is interesting. Good to know. And finally we have the you've put things in your inventory, you have removed things from your inventory sort of message there. So if we just say, for example, put in a ton of blocks in your inventory, you just keep piling up accordingly. Or try? No? You have to actually click it properly, not just move the mouse around. So that, and I don't think we can scroll it. No, we can't scroll what the actual previous ones were, so if you can't see what some of them are, then that's unfortunate. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, and status effects, I guess, as well, we should cover. We'll just go with potions, we'll just go with water breathing, slow falling, for example, and see how well stacking them goes. So let's see, leaping, go with luck, go with swiftness. Yeah, I assume it'll provide a fair amount, but obviously there's certainly so much. And obviously if it's not going to be able to present it, it'll not present it similarly to the actual, what we've added to our inventory and moved our inventory sort of display element here. But other than that, that's pretty much it. If you want something for keystrokes, you want something for clicks per second, frame rate, coordinates, and something the other, you're good to go, and you can disable everything you don't need by simply just going into here, removing the updates part if we don't want it, and we're good to go. Or changing the scale even, but technically, if we'll see if that's even bigger. So that's much bigger. Yeah, it doesn't format everything on the screen though. We should take a look at that updates. Anyway, I think that has actually formatted correctly. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.